Hi, listeners. Just a warning that this episode is beset by some technical issues that will affect the audio on this episode. So, just giving you some advance warning there. Otherwise, enjoy. This week in league, the Brisbane Broncos permanently relocate to Sydney after Darius Boyd threatens to retire if they leave Queensland.
Tim Laffey wins NRL Corona lockdown, AVO fuck with bingo.
Jared Haynes attempts to move his pending trial to China after seeing what they get away with eating over there.
Plus, we continue to power on as best we can in the absence of a 2020 NRL season.
Well, that more this week in league. Welcome to episode 346 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
Hey, so I was looking the other day, well, actually not the other day, today, to be fair, I was looking at the notes today, and I was like, 346, it's nearly 350. Wouldn't it be fucking great if the NRL season, if it came back, in time for that, and so I'll get the calendar out, I go, oh no, actually, no, it's about the 13th. It's actually 2 weeks early. The 350th episode is 2 weeks before it comes back, which is a shame. I mean, like I could have done that mental mathematics in my head, but when you see it laid out in the calendar and you're just going Wednesday, and you're like, shit. What's happening?
Oh, hashtag ISOLife.
Is that what it is?
It is.
Is that the tag? Is that the official?
I don't know. But I'm making it.
It's ISO everything, isn't it?
And it's life with a Y.
Okay.
I feel that's how to best.
That's how they doing it. That's how they doing it on TikTok.
That's it.
Have you made your TikTok coffee yet?
What's TikTok coffee?
Some stupid fucking trend dumb cunts are doing.
No, the last TikTok trend I saw was that girls were getting ice cubes and shoving them up their JJs and filming their reaction.
Well,
Use my referral code.
I think you have a different version of TikTok. I think it's yours is Dick Talk. I believe it's a Dick Shock's something else entirely.
Yeah.
That goes back. That's the old Japs eye stiletto business.
Man, I'm got the boy to educate and my household to keep up.
Yeah, it's not really anything that can really go wrong in households during isolation, though.
That's it.
And there's only so much that can go wrong. Oh, nothing interesting to report. I'm trying to think of it's one day bleeds in the next. I almost forgot that today was the day to record at certain points of the day, and that's despite the fact that Wednesdays I usually fucking live TWiL shit, like just getting stuff together, and especially at the moment, and now I mean, doing the Twitch streaming and stuff as well, like then going through and like clipping the fucking all the little highlight bits into separate videos and stuff. Admittedly, their system's great and it makes it very easy to do it, but I mean, it still takes time to do it. But it's very good. It's good fun. Fucking, I scored some amazing tries last night.
Yeah.
Oh, Elijah Taylor puts a fucking grubber through from 10 metres out. Benji scoops it up 5 metres out, puts another grubber through, and fucking Aloy picks it up and scores the try. Chip and chase for Benji to score. Kicked it over the line, caught it just on the line and put it down. Crazy.
How do you sleep at night?
Very fucking soundly.
Like, let's say you had the ability to, possess people's bodies a la a TV ghost.
Okay.
How would you feel after possessing the body of, say, George Pell for a couple of hours?
Well, hopefully dead.
Well, realistically, that's what you're doing, playing the Tigers.
Well,
Like
I feel that's somewhat unfair on Tigers people. I mean, we like to have our fun with the Tigers and Tigers in decline and the rest of it, ninth, etc., etc. But
putting yourself within their body.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I mean...
Who is your opposition?
They were this week, round 5. They were playing the Eels. So it was kind of a AIDS v cancer situation there.
Yeah, okay.
And look, you know, and maybe not Pell, maybe it was like a Dennis Ferguson situation, because the George Pell situation was earlier in the same night when I was using the Panthers to inflict a beating on whoever the fuck they were supposed to play this week. I can't even remember. The Raiders. He got fucking man of the match again too. Didn't score as many tries, but it just he probably did make 1,000 line breaks because he's the most damaging player in that side.
Fucking here comes the hot stepper.
Yeah, he's not a cherry, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's pretty up there.
You mean he plays the game and then doesn't mouth off in the RLPA meetings?
What generally happens
so
is that
the whole fucking organisation tells him to fuck off.
Cherry usually makes the breaks and then has the toe to score the try. Cleary makes the breaks, gets tackled, then a couple of tackles later, someone else may score. Yeah, actually, he scored a try on the very first time. He hasn't scored since though.
Yeah, really.
Mansour got a double on the weekend.
Oh, this is fucked.
One of them was fucking outrageous too. Like he took a kick on his own goal line, length of the field, fucking 2 steps, got through the line, and then beat them all. He outpaced
defused a defensive bomb.
Defused the bomb.
See, that's the first.
Caught it, stepped 2 lines of defence, and then outran people to score in the corner.
Yeah, no, this is just.
And there was another try he scored where he actually was in his position on the wing to receive a pass to put him in, and then he brought it around close to the sticks. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, the fucking world's gone topsy-turvy. Lisa now Mao gets a double for the Warriors.
Yes. But look, I want to start this week off with something a little bit more serious. And there's some shit that's going on all over the place. But we just wanted to say to all of the listeners out there that, keep doing whatever you're doing. Whether you're one of the very unfortunate few that have got this fucking thing.
Yes.
That if you're battling it on that front.
And we do know there are people listening that directly, like literally got it.
We're fucking batting for you. If you've been affected by losing your job.
Do you mean masturbating for them? We're rooting for you. Damn, that's not better either.
As in,
we're right behind. Damn, fuck. There's a lot of sexually charged.
Oh fuck.
There's a lot of sexually charged support phrases out there.
If you're affected on the job front, it's a big thing, and especially with Aussies. The honest day's work for the honest day's pay. No one's looking down on fucking anyone at the moment for being out of work.
No, hell no.
If you've got a business that's struggling, no one's looking down on anyone for going out of business. You can walk out holding your head high. Or if you're struggling to fucking keep going because you're pulling extra shifts to help support the shit that's going on. Whatever stage of the spectrum you're on, we're both very appreciative for everybody that listens to the show, whatever you're doing. So just a message of love and appreciation to all you motherfuckers out there.
Yes. And and people who don't listen to this show,
I hope they get it.
Eat a bat, motherfucker. Eat a bat, spit in your kids' mouths. And get wrecked.
Pell starts teaching outside school how to chair.
Riggedy Rex. Oh, that's something I did do through the week. Four VR.
Something you did through the week.
4 VRs in a row doing duos with Killer. Four duo VRs on Fortnite in a row.
The old fork knife.
There's not an NRL player in the fucking game who could pull that kind of streak.
Tell you what.
Let me tell you, if anyone wants to fucking 1v1, bring it on, motherfuckers.
Lovely fucking segue into one of the news items about spending time with your kids.
Yeah, go for it. I didn't mean it to be, but it's perfect, right? Go, get in there. I hadn't even heard that story until you brought it to me like just half an hour ago. I hadn't even heard it, so hit me.
Well, there'd been a lot of speculation with the NRL players going into lockdown or isolation about who would be the first one to break.
Oh, and pull some like Dylan Walker shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they said he did. I mean, obviously the court couldn't convict him because it didn't really happen. But what the papers insinuated happened,
Yeah.
and the neighbours and other witnesses.
I'll remind everybody, including Manly fans and underage sex apologists, that just because a court doesn't convict somebody doesn't mean the court is saying they didn't do it. You know, they're just not guilty, and Brett Stewart is still a piece of shit. But Dragon Centre Tim Laffey was issued with an AVO over an alleged domestic dispute at his family home south of Wollongong on Good Friday. So is he one of those fucking prayer circle?
Look, I don't want to say definitively, but I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so there's his first fucking problem.
Yep.
A lot of good that shit does you. Isn't that supposed to be your fucking Jesus Day?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Punching holes in the wall in honour of Jesus' hands.
It was Easter, right? So.
Was that you that sent that meme?
Which one? I've sent so many memes.
How would Jesus wank?
Oh, he's like pretty. Yeah, I don't think I sent that, but I that is one that I probably.
Do it the conventional way.
Yeah. No, that wasn't me. But I may have posted it. I don't consider that too spicy.
So a family member reportedly told police that Laffey was alleged. There's a lot of allegedly in this article.
Well,
smashing up his house.
There's hard times around here. You can't.
So police will reportedly allege he was spotted at the scene with blood on his knuckles. So the story is that he was apparently told by his wife, go spend some time with your kids instead of going to the gym, and he then decided to punch holes in the wall. Now,
perhaps his brother, let's light candles. Perhaps his brother is a plasterer, and he could use extra jobs.
So he's an essential worker.
And so he thought, well, you know, his business is taking a downturn. Perhaps I can keep one of the youngsters employed at my brother's work if I get him to come around and gyprock the walls. For that to happen, I need to put holes in the gyprock in the walls.
Look, there's a lot of shit you don't know here, and there's one way that, you know, if she said go spend time with the kids instead of going to the gym, and then he's done the old, I'll punch a hole in the wall right next to your head as a fucking intimidation technique.
As like I say, that could have been your head.
That's not okay. If he has walked away from the situation, been unable to control himself and lashed out at a wall.
I don't think lashing out at a wall is ever a fucking good option.
No, it's not a good option.
I don't like an acceptable, like a, you know what I mean? Like a.
Yeah, but if he's walked into another room, he's by himself, he's still very angry.
Have some fucking self-control.
Exactly.
Be a man.
Apparently he sought help.
Oh, has he?
So, that all in all, no one was actually assaulted. Doesn't sound like anyone was too badly intimidated, and he's seeking some help. But fuck, they're going to some extremes to get out of the Dragons. I guess Newcastle didn't want him.
Just speaking of the wife thing, did you? I had someone send me this contract that between Josh Papali and his wife. Have you seen that?
No.
It's fucking great. So as it turns out, Josh Papali, he must love a fucking game of golf. Love it. And at the moment, which, well, I mean, I wouldn't have thought that golf courses were things that were open, but I guess, you know, you can kind of, if you're playing solo or in a double and it's, it's exercise and
so they were shut.
Okay.
I believe there are now restrictions on hired clubs.
And like the size of parties probably going from hole to hole. And
you're only allowed one person per cart.
Okay.
So they were closed. They didn't shut down
okay.
Courses. But then it's the whole thing that sort of, like happened here. So the government's just like, so no more golf or fishing.
Yeah.
What about commercial fishing? Yes, commercial fishing are essential workers.
Yeah, and even fishing, like for example, we could go out on
to feed my family.
we could go out on a kayak fishing by ourselves or with two people, just us and one other person. You can go with two people.
No, it's the act of fishing.
Yeah, you can. No, you can go fishing if you like. If you take your fishing kayak and you paddle out into fucking.
Yeah, no, they banned that.
No, you can do that.
No, they did ban it.
No, I think it was just grey. I think it was grey. They weren't. I don't think they banned it. I think what they did was they just didn't define what was what, and then because
so now they've just lifted all those restrictions.
Yeah. I mean, because people you can get out of that. You know what I mean? Like that's one you can talk and say and put enough fucking grey into it to, you know. It's like the whole thing. Like how these people get pulled over by the cops and get fucking fined amazes me. The fuck you can't. How the fuck can you not? Unless you're caught down the Gold Coast and you live like up here with us.
I heard a story today where elderly couple who's one of their very elderly parents.
Yeah.
Right. This couple lives on the Gold Coast. Very elderly father lives on the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
He's not in good health.
Right.
The husband's still working at the moment.
Yep.
Had some time off over Easter.
Yep.
And was saying, I need to go up and check on my dad.
Yep.
Went to the police station down the coast.
Mm-hmm.
The police station, a police station. There's more than one. And,
not that you know the way the bikies run free down there.
Yeah, actually, maybe they could teach Ash Taylor if they still about avoiding. And explain the situation, and the guy in the police station down there said, "Look, I wouldn't book you for that, but I can't speak for every officer in the deal."
You'd never have to pay for it though, because that is going to visit family, especially family that are in health situations. That's his situation is absolutely textbook. Mm-hmm. That's a textbook situation. Yep. But back to this Papali thing. Yes. She's created a golf agreement, and I'm literally looking at the photocopy of this fucking document. As rule number 1. You must train at least 4 times per week, with the exception of at least 2 running sessions and 2 weights/circuit sessions. These sessions must be completed before you go to golf. 2. You're allocated 2 days of the week you choose solely for recovery. 3. You must eat clean 6 days a week with the exception of 1 day cheat meal, not a cheat day. 4. In addition to recovery days, you must also spend Saturdays sorting out theory for carpentry course. 5. Upon completion of carpentry theory, you can allocate an extra day per week to golf without question or hassle from your, in capitals, beautiful, amazing wife. 6. Lastly, you must pull your weight during homeschooling sessions that have been planned and set aside by me. And then it's got, I, Josh Papali, hereby declare that I wholeheartedly agree to the principles set out in this agreement. In the event that these have not been completed in the week, I, Josh Papali, hereby declare that I forfeit all rights to any planned golfing excursions and must be available for my wife and kids upon their request. And then it's got name, Josh Papali, written down there, sign, signature, date, and then witnessed by name, Crystal, for his wife. Fucking tremendous. So I mean, while we're talking about lockdown shit, I thought that one might. You just reminded me that Sky sent me out today. So thank you, sir. Got a good laugh out of it, and it's great to see that some of these, because like players by and large aren't the sharpest tool in the shed, and certainly not the most focused on what's important outside of the game of football. And so it's good to see like. He's got a switched-on wife that's fucking cracking the whip pretty hard in a time where, like a big boy like Papali, I mean, you could very easily see a situation where he come back looking, he could have a real Cassiano of an off season under lockdown. So it was interesting. What else we got here? Quade Cooper through the week signalled that he is open to joining an NRL club on a short-term contract if they can resume on May 28. He sees himself as potentially a bargain, and obviously he can't. He's contracted at the moment in Japanese rugby to the Kintetsu Liners, but he can't go over there obviously because he's locked down in Australia, so he can't get to Japan, and the competition's not going over there anyway. Mm-hmm. So he's left with some unspecified period of time of downtime. Yep. Presumably, he wants to earn some cash. And apparently, his dream. He's been training at Red Hill with Pingu Jr. And the Broncos can't. They've got a 30-man roster. They can't. You couldn't sign with them if you wanted to. However, they're saying there's a couple of clubs that could, but it's always been his dream. He's 32 years of age.
Okay.
He's played rugby and he's re-signed contracts and he's dallied with joining the NRL. I remember a couple of years ago, it's like Parramatta or someone who was looking to go. So he's always been his dream to play NRL, except when he left school, he went to rugby instead of rugby league. And then he had that time where he was dallying between contracts to go to the Eels, chose to go to rugby then as well. And so it's always been his dream, but now it's time to when there are no other options, it's time to fulfill that dream. Look, I saw some harsh words directed at him on social media and our Facebook group earlier in the week. I don't have anything against it. I don't fucking know anything about. I mean, honestly, I don't follow rugby. I don't give a fuck about rugby. I mean, I know who he is if I saw him in the street, and I know his name, popping up in when he actually, did something good in rugby years ago.
I call him 20 paces later.
Yeah.
Famous. As I'd see him.
Yeah.
And then 20 paces later, I'd be like,
he looks familiar. Yeah.
Fucking that's who that is.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, he's probably just fucking worded that.
A rugby fullback, though, could not immediately, on a short-term contract, make the transition to rugby league. It would be an absolute fucking liability. And if he wants to play in the halves, can you imagine a situation where he's getting greats of the game like fucking Curtis Sirinen and fucking Joel Thompson running at him, Jakey Turbo, fucking, he would be, and then you get your kick outs and you get your fucking, I guess, I was going to say you get your fucking CHNs, well, your fucking kids CHNs.
Now, Thompson is by no means a fucking great. He's not even great enough to put a dent in the fucking mammoth behemoth that is BJ Lelua's fucking super player rants. He was a fucking flip on that radar.
Well, he's like the only NRL players like fucking calm down, you fat mess. You're making us look bad.
I love that song you did about just taking a DNA test. Just shut the fuck up. You wouldn't put him in charge of a team. So he's by no means a fucking structural playmaker.
What I've seen mentioned is that indeed the example being given was the Bulldogs side, who weren't overly happy with the start to the season from Lachlan Lewis in guiding the team around, and with Wakem being such a young, inexperienced player.
So you would almost categorically need a dominant 7 and play him in effect just because of his body shape, almost like another centre as a running 6.
Yeah, and like he can kick, so that's great. Yeah, he could do. He probably has a reasonable kicking game that he could bring to the table. But man, I just don't think it's defensively. It's just not the same thing. I think he would get fucking smoked, and especially if he's only like, I'm living the dream for like 3 or 4 months. It's like
so similar to, and what I'm talking about here is you look at the transition that Dylan Walker made.
Yeah.
6.
Mm-hmm.
When he was just a foil for a dominant playmaking 7.
Yep.
You're a big body type, run when you can, draw some defense.
And you got, if you're fast and got a bit of footwork or whatever, But really, who takes that risk? He sees his strengths in the game being ball skills and communication skills, driving people around the field.
Oh, dear.
So,
you just fucking cool.
Yeah, and he reckons 6 is his best position. Theoretically, although he acknowledges that high balls and bringing the ball back are probably not his thing. So he wouldn't. So although he could play fullback, he doesn't see that as his position. So at least I guess he's self-aware. I guess he's self-aware enough to, But yeah, I don't think it would happen unless if it really is his dream, and he wants to play for fucking nothing or close to, then maybe he may
And you know what?
land there for us.
I would And you know what?
Land there for us.
I would be fully behind him if the statement was, I can't do anything right now.
Mm-hmm. And he's been doing good things, like like the training with before the shutdown.
Yep.
He'd go train. He went and trained with he put out on Twitter who's a local club or whatever, and
Yep.
I want to come and train with people. And so he went down. He went down and trained with Sky, who sent us the Papali thing. He went down and trained at Beanley with his team, and he trained at I think the Grange with an AFL team,
Sure.
and or not an AFL, an Aussie rules team, and so that sort of stuff. Great.
Yeah, but again, if you'd have said, I can't do anything now.
Yep.
And I'd be happy to play an NRL. To play in the NRL, I'd love to. It'd be great, and I'll do it for fucking match payments.
Yep. Throw me an opportunity
Because it is a challenge.
Mhm.
I am if somebody says I want to fucking achieve this and I want to do this,
Yep.
I will back them 100%. It was the same reason I got behind Jared Hayne when he went over to fulfill his dream.
Yep.
All the fucking hate that he got.
Yep.
I was 100%. If that's your challenge and you want to do it, and he fucking.
There's nothing worse than a situation like that where, of course, it's long fucking odds.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be the guy to be saying oh, he's not going to fucking make it. I don't fucking hate those cunts.
Yeah. But to say, oh, this is my dream.
Yep. You've had ample opportunity in your prime to segue and transition into living your dream.
Yeah. How old's Cameron Smith now? 34?
67.
No. So, wouldn't that be better for him to come out and say, look, I understand that I'm a fucking old man here.
Mm-hmm.
And I got kids that are going to be younger and faster and stronger and this.
Yep.
But I think with determination and skill, I could, succeed or be a positive addition to a team.
Yeah.
Go that route instead of
yeah, and if your kicking game and your organisational and your ball skills are such a great thing, somewhere like the Dogs, where maybe I can mentor these kids into some more creativity or something in the perfect situation. But don't try and sell me this dream bullshit, because you've had your chance to do your dream, son.
Correct.
Speaking of dreams, the Broncos are dreaming of a life without Darius. As Darius Boyd has stated, there is no chance in hell that he will relocate to Sydney, even if that's the only way to keep an NRL season going, and he will retire before relocating to Sydney.
So just remind me again, what's the deal with retiring mid-season?
In terms of, I would imagine so. Yeah, there's, I don't think it's.
And they still have to bring somebody up into the 30.
Yeah, and with this medical retirement thing, it wouldn't fucking surprise me if they could find a way. Because, the way that South's got Burgess off the book, it was just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. So he's saying that there's no chance in hell I could do 4 months away from my family, and that is something I would not be okay with. The game of rugby league is very important to a lot of people, but at the end of the day, your mental health and well-being is a lot more important. So many games at so many different levels. If I did miss out, I'd be pretty content with what I've been able to achieve. So, yeah. He doesn't want to, now that he's trialled his Earth side, he doesn't want to migrate Sydney side. Selfish. Once again, another Queensland State of Origin player.
Yes.
Trying to sabotage the game for their own.
No wonder their state's major fucking corporate sector needs to fly in workers just to fly them out again. Because lazy, dumb cunt Queenslanders don't want to put the fucking honest day's work in for the honest day's pay.
And I saw that Palaszczuk was saying that, despite the headline saying that she was clamping down and saying there's no state of origin, she didn't say that at all. She said, given everything that's going on at the moment, I can't see origin happening this year. She didn't say, I'm fucking putting a stop to this nonsense. Exactly. She didn't say it at all. But
my feelings on bitches with no chins.
Is that a large segment of the population that I need to be aware of?
Funnily enough, it's just her and Julie. That's all. They both happen to be on the same sort of politics. So I don't know if that's profiling or not. But she's been doing much more important things like trying to make sure that a fucking state's economy doesn't collapse.
Yeah, and everyone doesn't die of a fucking coronavirus.
Bat flu. That when somebody says, "Oh, so do you think Origin can go ahead?" She probably automatically thinks, "Oh, okay, a game in Sydney, a game in Melbourne, a game in Brisbane." No,
unlikely. And she even says, "Look, I love footy. I love Origin as much as the next person." But I don't see it happening because she's well aware of the fucking logistics on the national.
But then again,
leaders.
She's probably not thinking when she answers that question. Oh shit! All the players may be in fucking Penrith's rugby league.
Yeah.
Eden. So that would work anyway.
Yeah.
She's probably thinking about the current structure.
How much performance do you think that the players would get if they were eating, like, the golden chopstick or whatever it is they've got there out of the world of entertainment?
Golden chopstick.
But
they wing.
The thing with Palaszczuk is though as well, like what she needs to understand that is if Queensland players do not want to relocate to play potentially a 3-game series in New South Wales, that is a forfeit, and that is 3 in a row, and you're gonna have to fucking eat that.
Yeah. What was the year that Queensland got it on technicality?
On the draw, I don't remember. I've blocked out a decade of games, but I believe it was pre-2010.
Karma's a bitch, you inbred cunts.
Yeah, I was having this discussion with someone on the Facebook group, like 2 weeks ago. And I mean, admittedly, I was just like trolling them just to keep them coming back.
Let's start the New South Wales victory memes now, because Queensland have forfeit.
Yeah, and they go, oh, but they didn't play a game. How can they be awarded a series they didn't play a game? That's right. I agree. I agree 100%. We didn't play a game. So therefore the series is tied 0-0, which is in fact a draw, you would agree. Correct. And in the case of a draw, the incumbent side retain the trophy. Look, I don't like it. I'd change the rule if I could. Yes. But it's the rule. We got to live with the rule.
And are on record disliking that rule.
Yeah, put me there. Look, if I had the power, the first day I walked into my job as the chairman of the fucking commission, the very first thing I would do. Yeah. And after that, and then after that, I'd kick Norths out of all lower grades as well, and ensure that it's completely wound up. Then, after that, the very first thing I would do was stop this tremendous, injustice to the game about the drawn series going to the incumbent. Yeah. I'd put it would be extra time for infinity until we had a winner. Yes. But that's not the rule right now, and I can't change it. I'm not the chairman of the commission.
You are nothing if not a fair man.
Oh yeah, I'm with you, Queenslanders. It's a terrible thing, but you've got to play. You've got to play the whistle, and unfortunately, the whistle says 3 in a row.
You lose.
You lose, fucking cowards. What else? Oh, fucking speaking of fucking cowards, Channel 9. I'll tell you what, these cunts. I don't want to get too wound up. This happens every week, but these fucking this has happened after the last episode of the show was recorded, I believe, where these little cunts, all these minor fucking journalists from Channel 9, but their bios all indicated that they were in fact employed by Channel 9, or even like the fucking gadget guy off the Today Show who never tweeted a single fucking tweet about rugby league in his entire social media life. All of a sudden, around about the same time, like it was about 12 p.m.
Yep.
All of these fucking people tweeting about how, rugby league's kid and Channel 9, and it was so fucking transparent. So it was obviously like an all points fucking bulletin sent out by Channel 9 to say, hey everybody, we need to turn the tide of sentiment against the NRL. So all of you people with your Twitter accounts, tweet out something supporting Channel 9's viewpoint, or more to the case, being aghast at how the NRL could possibly think that they could, dare come back and then think Channel 9 are the bad guys in this whole scenario.
Yeah.
And then you see how the turns table. Now we've got like people who've made a fucking multi-year career in kicking rugby league, like your Buzz Rothfields. Now they're Now they're champions of rugby league in the battle against Channel 9. These shifting fucking allegiances, I swear to God, it's like a fucking Ocean something movie. Like, so many, so many twists, so many shifting sands of allegiance, backstabs, reversals.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Fucking compu bot, whatever. But, mate, it's just the fucking landscape at the moment. When you're dealing with anything from the majors,
Yep.
and by that it's either side, your Fox or your Nines, you need to look at it and say, well, okay, what's their investment here?
Yeah.
What do they want?
What do they gain?
Because no media outlet's goal anymore
No.
is to provide balanced,
Unbiased coverage of a,
news or exposés or investigative journalism or even interesting thought pieces.
Yep.
Right? It's just about clicks and revenue.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It's how to get clicks and revenue. And this is the clearest example of that I've seen in fucking ages when Channel 9...
And we had some like clear examples when football was going on last season, but this is, now they're getting even more so.
It's the best I've seen since when Dave Smith went to the negotiating table.
Yep.
And he said, no, Channel 9 and Fox, you can't come in here together.
Yep.
You need to come in here separately.
Mm-hmm.
And you both tell me what you want, and I'll tell you how much of it I'm happy with, and then the other one can do the same or do this.
Yep.
When all the Murdoch press started running that, AFL was the real sport of Australia, and it's the sport of the future.
And this banker is not a rugby league person, and he's going to drive the NRL into the fucking ground. And
exactly.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fucking clear then. Then we have Channel 9 coming out and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we didn't disparage the NRL for their position in this.
No.
So we can't disparage Channel 9s. They're fucked as well.
Yeah, and it's fair to say that they also did not see a once in a lifetime pandemic. I'll tell you what though, just a quick digression though, or diversion off the side of this conversation.
This may not be once in a lifetime.
No, someone did see it coming.
Who?
Fucking Wimbledon.
Really?
Wimbledon added recently, meaning the last 2 years, I think it was, a fucking clause to their insurance covering pandemic. And so Wimbledon obviously will not proceed this year as things are at the moment, especially with England being more fucked than, a lot of places. Yeah. But I think they got something like $141 million payout as a result from their pandemic insurance.
Good on them.
Yeah, so yip and fucking way to sock it to Jerry, boys. But
Why is that in the voice of a 1930s radio announcer?
that's just the way it is. And so anyway, back to these places that obviously never have seen it coming and shouldn't be held, throttled for it. Yes, or someone did. I saw that. I thought, oh, fucking good for them.
Well done,
Yep. That'll keep you in scones for fucking and fucking Pim's punch for years to come. Anyway, so Channel 9, they're not.
So they're fucking bleeding.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to ditch the money that they owe the NRL.
An instant saving of $130 million, I believe. Yep.
The contract hasn't been fulfilled. Now, whether that's right or wrong is another issue.
And you see the way that they're very careful in their wording in trying to define things, because obviously if rugby league comes back, then it's rugby league. Channel 9 televises it for, ostensibly the terms of the contract. They're like, oh no, but it's not the premium product that we're paying for because there's no fans in the stadiums. That makes it less premium, etc., etc., etc. So they're trying to actually fight a couple of battles. They want the overall battle, but then they're also laying the groundwork for degrees to pay less and not nothing, if they have to, yeah.
You guarantee they'll be going to their advertisers, the agencies and the third parties that want to sell all of that shit.
Yep.
Trying to get as much as they can out of it.
And the advertiser, they don't want to. The only advertiser of rugby league who should be paying top dollar today is fucking Harvey Norman still, because that cunt has come out and he was like, oh yeah, it's like Donald Trump has said, like, oh, why are you worried about this? So he should fucking pay top dollar, and if he had any commitments to advertising, he should fucking keep all of those.
I would have loved fucking for V'landers to go on back and gone, we don't understand why Channel 9 don't want to pay us more. We think that we're actually providing them a better product because everyone in the country is locked in their fucking house. They can't be anywhere but watching the footy.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's not until the last couple of weeks, like, not being a resident of New South Wales and in front of like the local, in quotes, news nightly. Yep. I didn't know a great deal about V'landers in his past, but that guy, he's a fucking business monster down there. Yeah. And like with the equine flu shit in like, the late 2000s, before the 2007 or whatever with racing, he is a fucking custom made to be the guy in this position right now.
Which begs the difference. What did the NRL know? When did they know it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's been on the commission for a couple of years though, right? And then he's like become the chairman, after a couple of years already sort of there. But
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, look at that. There's another fucking... How did that not get muted? I'm sure I muted all those at the start. There we go. Fucking shut your mouth, bitch. So, yeah.
Is this somebody...
But did you see the way that he actually... The way he's played it? Channel 9 had that release that came out, under Hugh Marks' name. It's like, NRL are shit cunts and they're fuck this and blah, blah, blah. And then he's come out the next day and sort of been like, oh, look, we're not that far apart. It's like, it was pretty cuckish response. Certainly not as strong as what I would wanted to see from rugby league. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's negotiated a $250 million line of credit to basically mean they actually aren't hurting for money anymore. Yeah. Like they can keep it. The sport's going to remain alive. Yes. All of that. Yes. That part has been saved and retained, and they're not dependent on all this Channel 9 money. Yep. Sure, they'd like it, and you obviously make things a lot better, but they don't need it to survive. And clubs aren't going to fold. All of that sort of things kind of taken off the table now. And then once that was secured, now the stories start coming out today. Like Channel 9 is like, we need to kill the season completely, and he's like, no, I don't think we will. And you know what? I don't know how much we need you in this this process either. And I mean, that was just hilarious. I mean, and then you go, well, that's why he was being like, because he knew what he was working on behind the scenes.
There's nothing fucking better than being in a negotiation, knowing your fucking insurance policy's coming through here.
Yeah.
Right? And you're a little bit nervous before it actually happens.
And obviously the ink wasn't dry when he had to respond to that Channel 9 thing. Yep.
Slightly confident.
Yep.
And then being able to go, in rebuttal, fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Deeply.
Yep.
It's an absolutely perfect situation to be in, and also a sign of the massive, massive fucking misread that Channel 9 had of this situation.
Yeah.
How the fuck you ever think that the rugby league watching, supporting, whatever you want to call it, community,
they're not going to take
value the station that it's on
more so than the code, essentially, the entire code. Yeah.
That's it. This has come out that they don't even essentially value the players more than the code.
Yeah, that's right.
The misread was there from the RLPA as well. Not fucking uncommon.
Yeah.
Surprising they can read it all to misread though. But that the whole whinging, we don't want this and we don't want that and we don't want this and we don't want that. The average man in the street doesn't give two fucks about that.
We want games on television. Or you know what? I don't give a fuck. I haven't watched Channel 9 in years.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck how the games are. I mean, I know there are people out there who are kind of, they hear the word streaming and they get all, they feel a certain way.
Yeah, and this is a potential taxi industry moment for Channel 9.
Yeah.
They can look at this and they can respond like the taxi industry did when Uber entered the marketplaces.
Yep.
By trying to dig their heels in and trying to disparage their competition and trying to say, but, we've been here for so long and we're so great and we're this and we're that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can go, fuck, there's a reason people aren't upset that we're losing this.
Yep.
What do we need to change?
Yep.
We've been fucking too slow.
Yep. And I will also say that, I mean, it's like, although I'm very firmly in the streaming camp, I live my life in the streaming world, Netflix, Stan, Anime Lab, fucking you name it. I don't have, I disconnected Foxtel years ago, probably 2 years ago now, after the end of a rugby league season. Never had the urge to get it back. And I'm very happy under that proviso to have no free to air games, because it doesn't cost me anything to watch all 8 games every week anyway. I do understand though that, maybe even if it was like a Netflix sort of tier thing or stand thing where it costs $10 a month for argument's sake, I can understand that people probably wouldn't be, not everyone would be into that, or would, and because that costs more than 2 games on Channel 9 on Friday and a game on Channel 9 on Friday and a game on Sunday.
Let me put something to you. When I say gigantic internet companies, which ones come to mind?
Well, in terms, because I'm an IT person, so I'm thinking, like, in what space?
Okay, cool.
Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple,
Okay, so let's just purely online companies. So Apple makes products.
Yeah, but they have they have music and TV streaming.
Yeah, but Apple make products.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say Google.
Yep.
Facebook.
Yep.
What are their number one revenue source?
It's all advertising. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's the NRL's number one revenue source? Inadvertently.
Yeah, it's advertising by proxy of the networks that pay them.
Correct.
That are fueled by advertising.
One of the simplest ways to increase margin on anything you do in business is to cut out the number of people in a supply chain.
Yeah.
Cut out the number of parties in a supply chain.
Yep.
You reduce margin.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or increase your margin, reduce the margin they take every time you do it. So for the NRL to come in, I'd be 100% fine with an NRL app, and they can still do Friday night. There's 2 games for free. And
you know what? For 10 minutes in half time and before and after, fucking smash me with ads.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they put an ad out and say, so, agencies that used to deal with Channel 9, you now deal direct with us. We fucking poached all the advertising people from Channel 9.
Yep.
Cut the fucking dead weight, because I'm sure half of them are frittatas, with all due respect. They now work for us.
Yep.
Deal with it.
Yep.
And so here's your advertising, same product, bigger audience. Let's go.
Yep.
And then from there, you get your 2 free games on a Friday night or Thursday, whatever they fucking want the schedule to be. Then they can do another one on Sunday afternoon. That's free.
Yep. And it's the thing, you have the app, you don't have to subscribe.
That's it.
If you've got the app on your Apple TV or on your smart TV or on your fucking Google, whatever the thing is.
It's exactly the same platform that Hulu uses. And for those that don't know, Hulu is a paid service like Netflix.
Yep.
But it runs current TV series. So the idea is it's on free-to-air TV or some pay TV in America one day, and then 24 hours later it pops up on.
Yep. But this is the other thing as well. The NRL, while I'd love to have their own streaming thing, it's a subscription-based thing. They could also farm games out to other services. For example, the NFL had a period there where the Thursday night football game was live and free on Amazon Prime.
Correct.
And shit like that. I mean, there's no reason why the NRL couldn't negotiate similar. Similar sort of deals with other services that people might, even if it was like, it doesn't really fit into the Netflix's core thing, but, think of something to everyone like KO or, something in Australia that everyone, But I mean, they're going to have to, they'll have to line up as well like everyone else. But but it's funny, like I've seen UFC. Yeah, the minute rugby league it completely extricates itself from Fox. No one likes fucking selling houses Australia that much to fucking keep.
Exactly.
No fucking way, no how. It's funny. It's just today I saw this morning a similar network situation, like where a place that was on TV elsewhere and everything, and they moved things in house was UFC. And I mean, they still have like their pay-per-view sort of events on ESPN now, but they've got the Fight Pass app and like library they've got. They buy the fight libraries of other defunct organizations, and so you've got all these fights from the UFC's past, plus all these fights from like other organisations in Japan or elsewhere. They do live telecasts of like Australian minor shows. If they've got the ability to film it and stream it, they'll be the they'll become the platform. They'll be the platform for them for their subscribers, so people around the world can see these things going. I saw this morning Dana White's going, "Why are you stuck home at quarantine? Hit up Fight Pass. Not only do we have all the fights, we've got all these. We've just grabbed all these fucking martial arts movies. We're just throwing all these martial arts movies on the platform as well." And
punchy.
Yeah, check it. And they got all. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, and like, the NFL do, it's fucking excellent as well. And if you want to, and if you really want to see what my dream of the NRL's digital owning it all in house looks like, get on fucking Game Pass now on NFL, because while this whole lockdown shit's going on, it's free, and you can see you got all these past games, you got fucking like all these quality productions about it's fucking it's amazing.
I'd be 100% happy.
Yeah.
If they started and didn't say, okay, you're going to have past games, you're going to have this, you're going to have that, you're going to say, we're just going to start from now, and this is the goal.
Yep.
So within 5 years.
Oh, roll shit back. Yeah, exactly. Just roll it in as you get it. Yeah. But I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if they did like a Fight Pass sort of thing where, and you've got like, so fucking Serbia are playing Spain for a fucking position in the tier of something to get into the early qualifying for a World Cup in 3 years' time. You can watch that game. You can watch you can watch the American fledgling American League, and and that extra exposure for those guys and eyeballs coming from us would probably it would bolster them. And it would, it would be more people watching it here than be watching it over there, without a doubt. And something, what could come from that?
But then it's also something for the California Rugby League to be able to put it in its game.
Yep.
Do you like the sport? Download this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our fucking the way internet shit works. Here's our referral code. Get this, support the whatever.
Yep.
That's it. It's not fucking. It is fucking hard, but.
But when you think about it for 5 minutes flat, you can just think of the opportunities and the possibilities.
We essentially have a roadmap to the NRL being self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine now lockdown? So lockdown.
Yep.
They go to a couple of coaches and they say, because say what you like about him with fucking crystals and being a bad date, but Matt Elliott could explain a play.
I fucking love listening to him on ABC Grandstand. I love listening to him talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there was a choice now, and I had that NRL app on my phone, and there's lockdown, and there's no classic games to watch.
Yep.
There's nothing. Like there's no Big Brother live cam going into Nathan Cleary's shower for me to jack off to.
Do you need the actual whole shower, or do you just? I mean, because really, it's just the chin, right? I mean, you only need like shoulder up, or.
No, I edge myself. And then when he throws his head back to rip the hair off.
Yeah, that's the moment.
That's when but I would sit there and watch Matt Elliott go over plays and explain, or you probably wouldn't get the experience, Johns and that right away. But
you probably would, because their jobs have evaporated on media otherwise, you know what I mean?
There is so much potential out there, and if I had the choice to cancel my subscription of paying whatever it was, $10 a month, or continuing to watch that stuff,
yep,
I would 100% keep that subscription going.
Yep.
And then the NRL doesn't get itself in that situation now where they're beholden to another entity's performance.
Yeah, exactly. And especially another entity that, has a powerful foothold in both print and television media, where they can wage a fucking campaign of diminishing the value of the league. Yeah.
Can you imagine though? Do you remember the tone of Moses Sully's manager's reply to was it the mole?
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Is that what lost him his job?
I doubt it, because it's not like it's the first thing he's ever got wrong. It was a pretty good one in terms of like an immediate clap back. Like normally, like he'll say something and then maybe like the player's father or Twitter will say, yeah, nah. Because did you see there was something else he said too? It was his last article for Channel 9. He sort of said, when he put the link out there, he said this is the last one. but he said something about referees, like the part-time referees getting not getting any money, and they got the shits with the full-time referees who are being paid full freight to do nothing. And then some guy who was like the head of like a referees association or something said, Hi, Molly. It's Phil, whatever he's. I forget his name off the top of my head. Don't have it in front of me. I'm the. That story's actually not the least bit true. And and so he replied to him on Twitter, and
But wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah.
Though? Because that's the risk. The minute the NRL go digital,
yep,
the fallout they're going to have to manage is both fucking sides of the media just going full fucking clickbait. If there's any video,
do you reckon they go full on clickbait, or do you reckon they go more like ignore, like diminish coverage? I think at the end of the day, they still have to sell newspapers, and the people who are potentially going to buy the newspapers are people who are still fans of rugby league.
Yes,
and they're gonna need that. They're gonna want
the coverage,
print content as well.
True, but they're also. Do you remember?
Yeah, I know you're saying though. They'll drive like it'll be like clickbaity stuff, and if there's anything remotely scandalous,
correct, and there will be fucking money offered. They'll be searching.
Yep.
Searching for anyone that had a drunken encounter with a player or anything like that.
But you know what? The funny thing is, they're doing that now anyway, so who fucking cares?
Exactly.
Honestly.
But for anything that's not that serious, I would fucking love for the NRL to actually have an active department.
Yep.
That was, I guess like
Mythbusters.
Like Mythbusters or something of that ilk, where they could say, oh, look, this was reported here by this journalist, and here's the misquote, and here's what didn't happen, and so we've gotten that player, and here's what they actually said, or here's what actually went down.
Yeah.
In that instance, so here's the truth, and here's the fucking bullshit.
It could literally just be a segment on one of their panel shows that they produce themselves in house. Simple, like or like media watches, like a 15-minute. On the ABC, once a week, they could just do literally that one show, half an hour episode, once a week.
Yeah.
Shit on everything, and it would stop pretty quickly if they're getting called out on it.
Yeah.
Because the enemies of the guys that get picked up for doing something, like if it's a News Limited one that does something, then the Fairfax ones are going to pick up the NRL side and say, like, look at these dumb cunts how they did this. Yeah. And Fox is going to pick up when they, you know what I mean? So they're going to get a lot of smacks very quickly.
Yes.
But the hashtag fuck Channel 9, hashtag Channel 9 suck the Volandis dick, bitch.
Like the Vossi thing not teach Channel 9 that people are even more beholden to a specific commentator than they are to the network.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ, dumb fuck.
Such a parochial sport as rugby league is, and tribal sport as rugby league is, how did they not fucking think that the supporters of a tribe, one of 16 tribes in a league, to that level, that they aren't going to fucking form like Voltron if someone's external to the league coming in and attacking it?
It's just an absolute fucking misread of what they have.
Yep.
If you have a show and it's pulling massive fucking ratings at 7:30, and you move that show to 6 p.m, then you go, oh, the ratings have halved. Shit, that means maybe people will not miss dinner with their family or are commuting or whatever it may be, and they're not watching that show at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Every time they do something with rugby league, they don't have that genuine feedback of public sentiment. Like when they fuck around with the kickoff times for State of Origin.
Yeah.
There's a massive fucking backlash on social media.
And it became a thing on Twitter, like, with with State of Origin start time and Friday Night Football, what's the lot is going to be, at 8:02 or, 7:55 or, whatever.
But there might be that massive backlash. But at the end of the day, people still watch.
It's true.
So they don't get that sort of feedback. So maybe they are just living in fucking fairyland.
Maybe so. Okay, quickly, we're talking at the start of the show, talking about the Twitch streaming. It's at twitch.tv/This Week in League. It's not a regular time in which I get on. I sort of get on. It takes about 2 hours to play through 4 games. So I usually do them in 4-game chunks, 2 sessions over the weekend. So basically go to twitch.tv/This Week in League and hit the follow button. And when that happens, you'll get a notification on your Twitch app that, This Week in League has gone live. And that's the best way. That's the best way to find out. And I think it pushes out things on Twitter and stuff too, but I'm not sure about that, if it's set up properly or not. But that's how you get on there. The recaps of the games this week, as per round 5, if the competition was proceeding as it should be. Mighty Manly Seagulls 22 defeated the Knights 4. A great moment in that one, and if you see it on the Twitter, and you can actually, and what I also do, you'll see there's the 2-hour blocks of the streams that are up there, and you can watch through after the fact, which is probably not as fun as doing it live. But then I also cut up the highlights, like all the scoring plays from all the games, into individual game highlight packages, so you can actually go back and watch these. But there was a moment in the Manly versus Knights game where the Knights had the ball about 20 metres out from their own line, working it out after some defence, and the dummy half passed it to Kalen Ponga at first receiver, and it bounced off his head, and they turned over possession, and Manly scored. It was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious. The Rabbitohs 36 defeated the Bulldogs 6. AJ is a fucking god in the game. Length of the field, took a kick like Mansell did, and once he's through the line, fucking forget about it. He's one of the fastest guys in the game. It's tremendous. The Cowboys 22 defeated the Broncos 4. Taumalolo, another big game. He was kicking goals, yes. And he did. He missed one from the touchline, but he got a couple of wide out ones as well.
I feel like I'm counting cards like in blackjack. Like you say something, and I'm like, credibility +1, credibility is -1.
Yeah. The Titans 18 defeated the Storm 6, which featured a double to who fucking scored this? Jared Wallace scored 2 tries. Jai Arrow put through a grubber for Jared Wallace to score under the post, which was the game sealing try. The Roosters 7 defeated the Sharks 6 in Golden Point, and it was crazy. And people, I know Levy's was one of the ones watching on the stream, and he's like, I can't believe how fucking invested in this game. It was fucking tense. The Sharks came within millimeters of scoring a try in Golden Point, and in the next set the Roosters took it off the changeover, and they went down and kicked a field goal from about 40 meters out to win it. The Panthers 24 defeated the Raiders 6 after falling behind 6-0 almost immediately with some frittata glitch in this glitchy fucking cunt of a game. And then Mansour 2 tries in that game.
Did they ever respond to your email?
Not the third time. We were going back and forth for a little bit, but now you mention it. No, the Warriors 24 defeated the Dragons 12. Fucking great. Tuivasa-Sheck, first touch of the ball, straight through, snapping ankles, scores under the sticks, and then there was another situation where it was either a kickoff or off a deep kick, and Fusatua got the ball, palmed 2 guys off, and eventually got tackled. Then about 5 minutes later, another deep kick goes to Fusatua. He did 2 steps through the line, and then the fullback came across to try and stop him. And he's just like, but just palmed him straight in the face, and away he scores under the post. And finally, the Tigers 18 defeated the Eels 0, and it was Golden Boot Benji. He put the grubber in for Aloye to score, and he also chip and chase scored himself. He was the man of the match, and it was tremendous. And one of the other things I forgot to mention in the Panthers game, Yo scored a try, 2 steps, and through the line scored just to the left upright.
Of course he did.
He got up. Clearly did not have a fucking clue where he was. Twitch.tv/This Week in League. We've almost satisfied the requirements to become a Twitch affiliate. We've satisfied 3 of the 4 requirements. They have like a little checklist you need to tick off. You need to stream for a certain amount of hours. You need to stream on a number of individual days. You need to have a certain number of followers. You need to have a certain number of average viewers, and we've got all of those except for the number of days, because there's only been 4 streams. You need to do 7. So so I may even just fuck around and just stream the next couple of days anyway, just to tick those days off, and then we become an affiliate, and then I think the next thing after that is partner, and then Then we like Ninja, and then we just stream for a living and get all the money.
Although,
And we'll set up, and then we set up any NRL players have streams that you know about on Twitch. Let us know which ones they are, and we'll hit them up and see get these fucking cowards to squat up in Fortnite. And we'll do it. We will do it. But it's good fun. I'm getting better at the game. I'm thinking of tomorrow I'm going to trial out just the next difficulty level up, which is the second highest difficulty level. And because the score lines now, like as you can see, like I can usually hold them to one try.
Yep.
Usually, and can usually score 3 or 3 or 4. So
I'd be interested to see if it actually ramps up the difficulty, or if it just does things like makes their sidesteps more effective against you and gives you no chance to actually...
Yeah, like what I've noticed from there's 4 difficulty levels. So on the lowest difficulty level, I noticed that you can pretty much get the ball off the kickoff, and if you time the step right, you can step and you're through and you're fast enough to go length of field and score. Yeah. And in those cases with 10-minute halves or 9-minute half games, you could win anywhere between 80 to 120 nil. It was very fucking easy. So then I went up to the next level, which, admittedly, when I started, it was fucking hard. It was a difficult level. Like I couldn't find a way to score, and I could sort of hold them out too. Their attack was a little bit better, and if they broke your line, pretty much none of your players could catch them. Yep. So, but generally speaking, it was okay. And but now, you play for position. You actually put a kick in. If you're on your 30-meter line and it's a fifth tackle, you don't try and spin it. You try and boot it as far as you can, and then eventually you can win the territorial game. They'll make a mistake, and then you're attacking from 10 meters out, and you can get some points. And you sort of makes you play it like, real in quotes. Yeah. But the next level, I don't know what it holds. I assume that their attack will be better. So. Then now, if I go behind by a try early, I'm not too, unless I'm using like the Dragons or a really shit team, and it's not necessarily a shit team as in a bad team. It's a team that doesn't have certain players with certain attributes. Like if you've got a halfback with a little bit of speed who can step, then you can usually count on that guy to get you a couple of line breaks, which could develop into something to get you points eventually. Yep. Some teams, for example, the Dragons just don't have that. Like fucking Jammer is the best. He's a beast for the Dragons. Hunt, Norman, absolute fucking garbage. Yeah. I mean, you could probably make Dufty the halfback and capitalise on the fact that he's speed or whatever.
So you're saying Mary was right all along with his fucking spin the ball positioning?
Yeah. And because even Titans garbage team, but Ash Taylor, he's got a step and he's got a bit of pace. Yeah. He can put shit on. It's good. But we're thinking we might this weekend we might put the idea is, though, my ultimate goal is not in terms of the difficulty. My ultimate goal is to try and have the final product of scorelines be kind of realistic. And those scorelines were all fairly... I mean, there's no way the Tigers would beat the Eels 18-0, but 18-0 is not an out of the realm of possibility scoreline. And when you get these ones like 22-4 and 24-6, they're very typical rugby league scorelines. Which is so the easiest difficulty level is just too many points scored, and you can't do it. This one's pretty good at the moment, but it's starting to get to that upper edge. And so we'll see what happens on the next one. Veteran, I believe, is the next level. So we'll have a look at that and see how it goes. Okay, mailbag. And actually, first thing, what I didn't mention with the streaming thing, if someone wants to go through the streams and get the scores from the last 2 rounds of action, or 3 rounds, whatever it was, and add them, go if the NRL has the table predictor thing still up, plug those points in and send me a screenshot of the current standings. That would be fantastic. I do not have the fucking time. I spend too much time fucking around on this shit for the show anyway at the moment. So if someone could do that, that would be grand. Some comments from last week. Nathan says, can we get a segment like we used to have with Nat, but instead it's Jay as Daly Cherry Evans?
I just have that every week anyway.
More so. I know Morso's down with the 4. I played one random duo with him on Fortnite, and we got the VR, so He's good to team up with. And he said, I can't believe how much Jay's DCE voice is spot on. What else we got here?
I seem to remember a fucking comment from one non-believing host of this show saying that I can't act. So I'm pretty much the fucking De Niro of rugby league acting.
You're implying that it's a difficult role to play?
Well, difficulty is only in how far it is from your natural personality. So it's extremely hard.
You two are fucking...
ignorant fucking...
You two are a fucking trick coin. You're like two sides. You're both fucking tails on the same coin. Ryan, a legend, and I would like to congratulate you, Ryan, on not having coronavirus. I believe because you were at Fat Belly Jack's the same day we were, and none of us got the Rona. So and that was like the only time I'd been outside near any other people other than my family in like the last fucking month, pretty much. So it was like in the back of my mind, like Sunday afternoon in 2 weeks' time. That when I get to that Monday, I'm like, all right, didn't get the Rona. So congratulations on not having the Rona, right? He said, I'm late to the party, but after listening to the pod, my 1 year wonder is Paul Hoff. Played Origin and Test footy in 91 and was greatly deserved. He barely deserved to play first grade after that. He got ended by fucking Mark Geyer in that Origin, right? Like, I mean, he was one. I mean, think about it. Fucking Wally Wanker.
Yeah.
What did he do after that series with Geyer? Nothing.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson. We know what happened there. Paul Hoff. All the recipients of the Geyer elbow in that in that maniac game, where he was just fucking like the second most maniacal game of rugby league I've seen, and and the man fucking LOD with his headbutts, and he's still the king of maniac games, because he did everything Guy did in that one game in like 10 minutes, like he was fucking crazy.
He was fucking playing a barbarian in that, man.
But the thing with that game, he was swinging elbows, and like he cold cocked fucking Peter Jackson with an elbow, Paul Hoff with an elbow, and then he went to face to face with Wally Wanker. Oh my god, I'll tell you, I've got a fucking semi just talking about it. Oh mate, he was awesome before the fucking crystal pistol.
To be fair, probably during as well.
Simon said, okay, it's question time. Brad Thorne was born in Mosgiel, if that's a real place, and played for Queensland. James Tamau was born in Palmerston North and played for New South Wales. Are Kiwi-born players able to play for whichever fucking state sucks their dick the most, or are South Island-born players Maroons and North Island-born players automatically blue VD-infested pussies? Jason Taumalolo would be a blue VD-infested pussy under that system, asking for a friend.
It has, unfortunately, nothing to do with where they're born.
No.
And everything to do with where they play their junior footy and if they have played or declared for any national team.
And what Jay just described was the eligibility to play for New South Wales, and the eligibility to play for Queensland is if you fucking feel like it, they'll find a way. They'll find a way to eradicate your Papua New Guinea and New Zealand. I mean, because then you got your fucking Tony Carrolls.
Tony Carroll.
Yeah, Adrian Lamb with the PNG thing. Yeah,
Petro ever in question?
I don't feel like Petro ever was in question. No. Because I'm just trying to think, his dad is even like a Redcliffe legend around. I mean, I don't think Petro was ever.
Tony Carroll, I'm thinking of.
Tony Carroll was. I mean, then you had Brad Thorne was like rugby and like the rest of it, and like yeah. And the biggest thing that the cucks in Queensland had to bleed about is, fucking Peter Sterling was born in Toowoomba. Well, you fucking Queensland Moronia fucking Billy Moore was born in Tenterfield, bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, they cancel each other out. Now let's get back to the other guys.
I hope that's a thing of the past now. And I believe it is. The last conjecture I heard.
Over time, it will become, those ones will become more distant, as you know, and I don't think we're going to get these English, these sorts of things happening ever again.
Because the last one that was in conjecture was Kiri.
Yeah. But the last one that was in conjecture was that Martin Kennedy, remember? And remember he had like a couple of good games for the Roosters, and they're like, oh my fucking God, it's a tug of war to see who's going to play Origin for. And then he came up to the Broncos, And did he get done for being on the gear or something? And like he washed out almost immediately out of first grade. Yeah. But yeah, Kiri was the one, and Kiri was on the record as considering himself Queenslander. Yep.
Meninga had him and this, and
Yep.
it just came out that you went, no, he's. And then it was, I won't play Origin if I'm not for Queensland. And then he came out and went, oh no, I didn't mean it like that.
Motherfucker, 30 grand for 90 grand for a series if you play all 3 games. You'll fucking play. Don't even play.
That's it.
Don't even try it, mate. And and I mean, does that mean that there's a diminishing of the absolute passion for a state that players have? I don't know.
I think as a player, you could be excused for that slightly because you would already have experience in some cases of having to put aside passion when you get selected, because not every kid is going to get selected for the side that they...
Dare I say, barely any of the kids probably, unless they're like absolute juniors that have, juniors of the club in which they support.
Or, unless you're like Penrith where you have a legit fucking gigantic nursery to choose from.
But even so, you get your situations where like, Wendell Sailors in Queensland, he goes for Manly as a kid. And it's like, you never, it's a long... I
didn't know that. And
it's a long...
Wendell Sailor very well, I'm not surprised.
And it's not a... And
he's a dead set fuckwit.
And it's not a lot... Yeah, but I mean, like, for him, like, it was probably never really an option. He was going to get identified at school well before anything got that, what I mean? Like,
days of videos or
yeah. And I mean, sure, sure, scouts would be a scouting no matter where they were, but you'd be identified. They would be identifying people at a certain age, at which you've probably already been identified by local.
And let's face it, if the Broncos have got local scouts out here, they probably have relationships with most of the schools. And so before you get to the giant carnival at the end of the year where all the scouts are, anyone that's fucking decent's already been tipped back and gone, oh, you're coming over to look at my kid here.
Well, talking to Real Dad, talking about the carnivals at Toowoomba and everything, he's talking about a kid who's like a year older than Jax, who's playing in the halves and was kind of mentoring Jax because he was like the gun. He's like fucking like 12 years of age. He's already on the fucking Broncos radar. Yeah. Already. Like, so, I mean, and I don't think they're identifying.
Like, he does get a little bit Ferguson-y, and not Blake when he's talking about these kids. So I don't know what it is.
He does love a junior footballer.
Loves it.
Fucking loves it.
Every time I see him, there's this new, you know what? And all you got to do is look at this kid just to know what he's going to be.
Yeah.
And I look at him.
Yeah.
Every time. There's a different one.
Oh, I hope he listens. This is a fucking test. We'll get a phone call. On Friday.
Should we help plug his new thing?
Well, he hasn't actually done anything yet, but he's definitely setting up.
Well, he is, and on Twitter, if you are a listener of this show, and I believe there would be a fair fucking Venn diagram of crossover.
Yeah, I mean, like, you've got I mean, I will concede that there is a certain like, stepdad's my real dad, because I mean you've been here a long time now, but and you know what?
I'm talking about potential audiences.
Oh, fuck it! I think 100% of it should cross over. Really,
because what he's doing, and look on Twitter for at Pride of Lions.
Yeah, is that the handle?
Do you want to verify that while I'm gibbering?
Yeah. Okay. Let me.
So, Real Dad, the fucking magpie-loving, sometimes to his old drinking...
Pride of Lions pod.
He's doesn't have enough time to do this show, but he has enough time to star in, and edit the world's premier podcast for LGBTQ fans of the Brisbane Lions AFL team.
I look forward to teaching him how to fucking use iMovie and shit, or use these programs to edit shit.
So if that's you,
I've already got his website wish list there to set that up.
if you want a queer eye for the Brisbane Lions guy,
and is that it? And is that redundant? To say a queer Australian rules football fan.
Oh, look. I think queer is in the old-fashioned term of the word, is in odd. Yes. So we wish him all the best for his progressive new venture.
This is the ultimate test if he listens to all completely through episodes still. Don't fucking tip him off, you cunts. Just between us. And then we just want to test him.
And I'll go so far as to say this. For any pathetic cuck that gets out there and thinks that they'll tip him off to
and it's like,
badge of friendship.
Oh, real dad, check the fucking the 1 hour 20 minute mark on the fucking.
I love me. Please be known that the first thing he will come back and say is, one of your pathetic cucks told me this.
And he will name you.
Yes.
I look forward. I expect to get the phone call by about lunchtime on Friday. Maybe earlier, but we'll see. Cody on Facey, he gave us this great story. What got me into football? Dad always took me to the games when I was 3 to 4 years old, and then one day I went to work with him on a Saturday to quickly finish a job off, and he told me to knock on the door and tell them that he was coming. I proceed to knock on the door, and Paul McGregor opens the door and says, "G'day, Cody. Your dad said you were coming. I thought you might want this," and gave me a signed Steelers football from greats like Rod Wishart, Paul McGregor, Dean Calloway, John Simon, etc.
Fuck yes.
What a great fucking tale.
Yeah.
He's been shelving Mars bars ever since. Hey, did you see that? I saw on Twitter today that Jamie Soward must have done one of those bracketed playoffs for chocolate bars.
That wasn't today.
Oh, so he said that.
Fucking weeks ago.
No, but he said I saw a tweet today with the grand final winner.
Did Mars win?
Mars
bar. Of course it did. I was on this fucking months ago. I tweeted out,
Everyone vote Mars bar.
Yeah. How does a St. George player be in a competition with the potential winner is Mars bar? It doesn't raise any eyebrows anywhere.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's still a niche thing. I mean, we may be huge in the rugby league podcasting world, but the rugby league podcasting world is still a subset of the rugby league anything world.
I don't know. Results. It's a results-driven business.
Yes, true.
Mars bar has entered first.
It went deep into the competition, and ultimately retained its structural integrity all the way through to the end, and embedded itself.
And it would be terrible if too many people retweeted or quote tweeted or replied at Jamie that they prefer their Mars bars frozen while they have a belt around their neck. That'd be terrible if those tweets started to reach him.
He wouldn't get that at all either. No. I mean, someone would have to explain it to him eventually.
Hashtag pew pew pew.
Stuart Marla on Twitter said, considering your comments on Any Given Sunday and how much Oliver Stone was trying to cram in, if he set out to make it today, it would be a Netflix or HBO series with the luxury of exploring each concept individually and giving each star their own episode.
Yeah, it's called Ballers.
It must probably, my reply was, yeah, I mean, it would be great. Like if it was a 10-hour series where you could instead of just having these weird little shoehorn things with Cameron Diaz and the relocation, where that's a strong subplot.
And all of a sudden, every interaction has to go from introduction to emotional ramp up 1,000.
Yeah, and then
in the space of 30 seconds.
And then ultimately they all converge in episode 10, and you're left, fucking great. However, I will also say that, I mean, given he's an Academy Award-winning filmmaker, I'm pretty fucking sure that he made that story exactly the way he wanted to do it.
But again, he's an Academy Award-winning filmmaker. I think we have already proven that the Academy during the fucking 70s and 80s was fucking garbage, and the only thing he had to do to win an Academy Award was have a camera and just be one of the 10 people that did that.
There's like 20 films you're shitting on there that aren't his.
Come at me. What are the good ones?
Oh, fucking okay. Allow me to get the list. Just tell me.
What's the one where fucking Jack Nicholson goes, "Here's Johnny"?
That didn't win anything, did it?
Well, probably not, because it was a good movie.
It wasn't.
Wasn't it?
It was okay. I mean, it was an iconic, great performance from Jack.
Famous for one thing. That's what the fucking 70s were.
Well, I mean, he had a couple. He had like the red rum, and and then the kids at the bicycle and the blood flowing out of the thing. And see, what I feel like is you don't actually watch movies that closely.
If I said to you, so I just said, here's the Here's Johnny movie.
Yeah.
Everyone would fucking know that.
I don't think not necessarily. I don't think.
If you say what's the fucking Red Bum movie, I don't know what that is, but I know the Here's Johnny reference.
Well, I didn't say Red Bum, did I? So what you're doing here is, I think you're being more ignorant about film than the actual quality of the films themselves are to blame here. Now let me just I'm just going through. Where do you want me to start? 70 or late 70s or what?
70.
Okay. When does cocaine start to infect the Academy, in your opinion? Okay. So, oh wow, Clockwork Orange was actually nominated in 71. There you go. No, it didn't. French Connection won though. It's a good movie.
There we are.
72.
Okay, so just
72 is Godfather.
Yeah.
Fucking, you are not going to say shit about The Godfather.
A fucking fat cunt actor.
Oh God, all fucking mighty.
Cheeks. Cotton balls in his cheeks, dancing around with a fucking orange in his mouth.
Godfather 2 in 74. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's a great fucking movie. Rocky in 76.
Overrated sports movie.
Fuck out of here. The Deer Hunter, another fucking great movie. Kramer versus Kramer. These are, look, I'm not going to agree with.
White guys saying the N word at each other.
Kramer versus Kramer. And there's I'm not gonna agree with every Academy Award winner being the best movie that year, because the whole pantheon is littered with things that should have won and were robbed and etc. But I'm looking through there and there's lots of fucking good movies there.
Yep.
Lots of good movies that stand test of time.
Okay.
Stand test of time,
so
son.
Maybe movies are shit.
I just think that maybe movies start for you.
Maybe maybe I stick to those things with fucking pages and words in them.
Oh my God, you fucking Luddite. My fucking stepdad Kaczynski goes out to his little fucking cabin in the country to write a manifesto.
What's that?
The Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I got a meme I'm going to put up on Facebook later. So it talks about, in isolation, don't talk about, the fact you can't get anything done in isolation. There was Theodore Kaczynski. When he was under lockdown and in isolation, he created 15 technical 15 scientific devices and wrote a 30,000 page document or whatever the fuck it was.
Yes, but
yeah.
Back to the point.
Yep.
Oliver Stone's a fucking hack, and making movies is a piece of piss.
I don't think that was ever the point. Stoic Bunny says Friday Night Lights is a great school gridiron movie. I'm interested in watching that movie. And you know what? I think that one's up on Netflix, so maybe that can be the one this week.
There we go.
Boom, Friday Night Lights. I don't want it to be all about gridiron, but I mean, there's a suggestion, and I'm happy to run with it. Also, best of the best, very difficult to get. I've got a 720p version that I've acquired of the movie, which is probably the best. I couldn't find a 1080p Blu-ray rip of it. I've got 720p. If anyone wants to see it,
you will allegedly send it to them.
Please contact me via direct message on Twitter or email business@thisweekinleague.com, and I'll supply you with a link at which you can watch the movie. Voodoo Rock on Twitter said, I had a video conference with my CEO today, was wearing my This Week in League hoodie. Try explaining TWiL Nation to your boss. I don't think it's that difficult, really, is it?
No.
It's just a group of good cunts united in their
love
of the game and listening to a particular podcast.
Correct.
Am I oversimplifying it? I didn't find it that hard. I just feel like you don't need your CEO. You don't have to go, and then there's Scott Minto and fucking and then St George fans jam Mars bars up their ass while they auto asphyxiate themselves, and I mean, there's certain things you don't need to.
Look,
At least it's straight away.
Your CEO knows what a podcast is. It's a podcast I listen to. They sell some merch.
Mm-hmm.
I got a membership because I like it that much.
I love them so much.
Worth it.
I love them so much that I love listening to the show, and they make me laugh, and so I bought a hoodie because
they entertain
this world is cold. It's a cold world.
They entertain dumb cunts like me, telling them about this exact interaction I'm having right now with you, and they'll probably try and explain how I could have done this better. It's a little bit like fucking Inception.
Yeah, you've incepted 5 minutes of content into this show.
Somewhere your CEO's sphincter is tickling.
Yes. Now,
welcome, all CEOs.
Now, what did you have over there? Did you have anything in terms of homework and etc.?
Last week, we put out one of the questions was to make an Origin team. Oh, fucking hell. I've kept this for later. I've got to find a use for this as a fucking emotional response gif.
Oh.
That's at BENDUNN43. Was to make an Origin side completely made up of people that never played for their respective state. And it was just an interesting point. And I love how much the fucking nation comes together on this stuff. But our mates, Fat Harry Lazy and Stewie Marler, came out and basically they tried to get a New South Wales team up, but found it exceedingly difficult just because of the amount of people that New South Wales gave a jersey to for
3 minutes, yeah.
For whatever reason. One of those came up when we were talking about it on the episode, Michael Gordon. But if you're in the Facebook group, go and have a look at the thread and have a look. Stewie Marler actually put up a list of 57 players to play one State of Origin game for the Blues.
Which makes it almost an impossible task then for fans of New South Wales. Yeah.
Our old mate Mendoza came out. His New South Wales team was Amos Roberts, Semi Radradra. Remember there was that talk that he was going to...
If fucking Adrian Lamb can play for Queensland and Tony Carroll, etc., as we mentioned.
Luke Burt on the wing.
See, I feel like he must have been like an 18th man or something at some point.
Yeah, I know, we allowed 18th man.
Okay.
So never been on the field.
He must have come... Yeah, I mean, like, my memory's shot, so I feel like he must have, surely.
Chris Lawrence, Jared Croker, Matt Orford, Preston Campbell, Luke Douglas, Ryan James, Piggy Riddell, Chris Heinington, and you fucking lost me when you put that absolute dumb shit cunt Clinton Newton in there. And Alan Tongue.
Clinton Newton was never that good. At anything.
Your team was good up until you included him, and now we can never actually listen to anything you say ever again. And I believe the Japanese have a ritual for you that you should go and consider. It's called fucking an octopus.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. Trent in the Facebook group came out with the general at fullback. Blacklock, Lawrence, Croker, Burt, Sutton and Orford in the halves. Britt, Brown, Scandalis, Morrison, and Thompson.
When I saw that, I'd totally forgotten about the existence of Glenn Morrison. I'm like, oh yeah, he was a guy. Like that was the one on that list. It just jumped out. I was like, oh yeah, he existed.
Yeah. Devon Head in the Facebook group said Andrew Leeds, Nathan Blacklock, Jared Croker. So the Croker, Lawrence, Burt backline seems to be pretty stable.
Bit of Blacklock love too. I mean, and
fucking deservedly so.
Yeah, but always, do you think that he would have? Do you think he would have blacklocked it at Origin level, or do you think he would have been like another like Nathan Merritt. Because they were different times, but the same sort of momentum to get them in for the same sort of, you know what I mean?
I feel that these games would have been played sort of under the old Origin conditions.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, you go back and you watch some of those old Origin games, and they were fucking horrific games of footy.
Mm.
Well, not horrific, but they weren't the uber polished.
Yeah.
This Queensland team has played.
They were the most passionate level of the game, but they weren't the highest quality art form of the game like they are now.
They were legit won on fucking guts
Yep.
and determination, and some guy just being stupidly fucking quick, or being able to pounce on a ball, somewhere in the 60th minute that he had no right to get to. Campbell and Orford in the halves again from Dev. Ryan James is an entry.
As someone who Matt Orford gifted one of the greatest moments of my life, I don't see him in Origin ever at all. I mean, believe me, I was there.
Yep.
I was there in 2008. He won the Dally M in 40-0. I get it. I get that shit.
Fucking legend of the game, Preston Campbell next to you. Just kick for position. Fuck.
Yeah, you got Presto in there. I mean, who's his Tony Carroll? You need something. Well, otherwise, it's a gaping fucking.
Ryan James.
Well, Ryan James, I think, Ryan James is a very deserving inclusion on the list. Correct. But it's only injury and fuckery that have kept him out anyway. I mean, he may still yet do it.
It's kept him out.
Yep.
Figueredell again, Sean Fensom, Lance Thompson. Did Sean Fensom never play for New South Wales?
No, he was always one of those.
Did he play for Australia?
Possibly, probably, but yeah, that's not a prerequisite though.
Yeah. Joel Thompson and Alan Tongue.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Joel Thompson. I think he's a fucking champion guy and a good player.
Kareem in the Facebook group said Luke Patton again, Nathan Blacklock again, Joey Leilua.
Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Never.
We want to win, you dumb fuck.
Yeah. What are you trying to do? He's obviously a Queensland supporter.
Although, tell me that wouldn't be that's a New South Wales selector's selection if ever I've seen.
Oh yeah, that's like a not that long ago either. That's like a 2015 selection.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man, when he was in peak Leipana, 17-18.
Yeah.
Like he was an injury away from playing Origin.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking sliding doors. David Simmons, Blake Green, and Matty Orford in the halves. What do you got against Preston Campbell?
I love Blake Green, definitely.
Matt Parsons, Brad Drew, Ryan James, John Sutton, Darren Britt, and Alan Tongue.
A lot of love for Sutton.
I know you.
Like maybe you could put him in as like a lock or something. I don't see him as
peak Sutton, right?
I don't think he peaked. Like remember he was all potential and bra boy loyalty to bled South Sydney etc.
14, 15.
He bled South Sydney blah blah blah. But I mean like I don't think he actually reached a standard like a high standard of like consistent player until he was not 5'8".
Okay, well then.
Like lock or something like that.
Do you not see him as a poor man's Wade Graham?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
I mean, but are there any other poor man's Wade Grahams that haven't played Origin that could be ahead of him?
I have no idea.
Probably.
I have no idea. And there weren't a whole lot of Queensland additions. Yeah, Betty Barber was in there. Scott Donald, Rod Jensen, Ben Walker, Cole Felt. Cole Feltman has played Origin.
It sounds wrong, but it must be. I mean, if they said it.
Fucking Travis Burns, get fucked.
Oh, Travis Burns, he was a fucking terrier at Manly. Had a bit of grub in his game in Penrith. He's getting penalised, suspended all the time in Penrith.
Fucking suicide bomber in Penrith.
His life lost all meaning once he left Manly.
Oh, Shane Tronk.
Fucking hell.
Shane Walker, Brent Lawrence, Aaron Payne, Jake Friend, Michael Luck.
Ben, I mean, none of the Walker brothers have ever exhibited any form of defence required to excel in the Origin arena. However, Ben Walker did have that fucking season for Manly where he was top point scorer in the early 2000s, where he was off the fucking hook. But yeah, but never, he could make a tackle to save his fucking life, so you never have him in Origin. Never. He was an attacking weapon, but he was an absolute defensive idea. Then again, so was that one. And we'll never, and probably never had a chance like these other guys.
That wasn't the accurate question. You made it quite specific, so you found bad homework.
What was the? Just give me an example of some of the players that have been selected.
Go so far as possible. Probably don't play that.
All right, you got anything else?
No.
Got any other homework?
No.
No homework for this week? All right, just Friday Night Lights. Lock that shit in. Not later. We're still going. We got to wrap it up. No, that's full time.
I'm the fucking Oliver Stone of podcasting. When I say cut.
Oh, let's cut to Cameron Diaz. Fucking something. Move to LA. Oh, my dad.
This is a fucking lazy thing where we actually explained what just went on during the fucking end credits. Fuck you, Oliver Stone.
That's full time for episode 346. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, you can interact with us on Twitter. Follow at TWI League, our Facebook group, our Facebook community, hashtag TWiL Nation is facebook.com/groups/TWiL Nation. Otherwise, search for hashtag TWiL Nation and you'll find it. Facebook page, facebook.com/This Week in League. Make sure you hit the like button, share our posts around, our episode releases, etc. That would be great. Of course, give us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to go the extra mile and support the show, our digital memberships are available still and can be picked up anytime for $3.99 a month. And tonight we're recording the 5th episode, I believe, of the exclusive members content. Finally, for those waiting on the actual physical memberships, this afternoon I received notice from the T-shirt place that the items that they were handling have been shipped or put on a courier, so I should see them tomorrow. And that means the Trust Us shirts and the polos are on their way, and I'll have them in my hands tomorrow. If you only ordered, I don't think there would be a case where someone just ordered. There's probably a couple of people who just ordered a polo. If you just ordered a polo and nothing else, I'll probably be shipping that this week. If you ordered a Trust Us shirt and a membership or something, I'll probably hold it back and save you some cash on shipping and send them all at once. About 30 minutes after I wrote the note down about getting the shirts and stuff getting sent over, I got an email from the sticker place as well. So the stickers they're on a courier as well. So we're well on our way to meeting our initial end of April goal, which was like getting the stuff out before Magic Weekend. Obviously, that's a moot point now with Magic Weekend being cancelled, but yeah, it's good that the deadline we set ourselves looks like it's going to happen, no problem. The only thing we're waiting on, the most difficult thing that we're waiting on are the drink bottles from the memberships, because I know that they're being produced in New Zealand and they'll be here by the end of April. I'm pretty sure they should be here in another week or two. But they were the ones, I think, initially when I was getting the time quotes for production, they were the longest one. But that was including what they expected would be delays, due to the bat flu. So once they arrive, I expect them to be the last item. Once they arrive, it's good to go and it's all out there. So that's that. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else to add for the week?
Not at all.
In that case,
Footy's coming back. Oh, did we talk about the relaunch?
The relaunch.
That they've set the date.
That was wasn't that last week?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I think it was just after.
Really? Yeah. I think they might have got it in just in. I think I feel like we talked about the 28th thing. I feel like we did.
There you go.
But like as I said to you at the start of the show too.
All the days are fucking running.
Well, yeah. Well, not at the start of the show, but as when you turned up tonight and we were talking before recording, the one thing I just think I was like, Jesus Christ, there's so much fucking. This whole Channel 9 shitting on things and, whatever, it's just so tiring. And so I like to talk about it from the perspective of fuck Channel 9.
Yes.
And get the rugby league community fired up and galvanised against these fucking cunts. But otherwise, I'm just trying, it's such a world in flux at the moment for rugby league. And the news changes like today especially. It was funny, there was it was like Channel 9 want to shit can the whole season, and then it was an hour later, oh, the NRL have got that fucking loan sorted out, and then the next thing was channel. There was some other piece of news after that. Then it was like no. Then it was Volandi's like then the story started coming out about now fuck Channel 9, they don't have the upper hand anymore. And this was just rolling. This was rolling stories in one day. And so I mean I've seen like on Fox Sports website they've got like a rolling thread where they add to it.
The thing that's been sorted out now is that they have the funds to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get clearance because it seems to me, looking into it, all they have is an assurance from the Police Commissioner of New South Wales that they would be free to conduct their business if they could adhere to all health safety guidelines.
Yeah. I think if they lock in something, for example, like the Penrith solution, or
the talk today was they're looking at a cruise ship.
Well, that wasn't real. That was like a meme, though, wasn't it? I think that was just like a joke. Yeah. Well, it's not the talk then. It's come on, you hold yourself to a higher standard, sir, than the scuttlebutt of the rapscallions. Anyway, that's it.
That's it.
See you next week.
Later.